The truth about Celcius, exposing the scam. A former manager working on Celcius has accused Celcius of fraud, saying that the crypto lender ran a Ponzi scheme by using customer deposits to rig the price of its own crypto token. And in the chain of events, crypto lender Celcius Network said on Wednesday it had filed for bankruptcy in New York, becoming the newest victim within the cryptocurrency sector of a dramatic plunge in token prices. But is it a victim of crypto downfall or a scam? And what are the reasons for its bankruptcy? Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Trends. Today, we're talking about the bankruptcy of Celcius. Are you ready to know all about it? Well, without any further delay, let's get started. And please make sure you hit that bell icon so you never miss out on any new updates from our channel. Celcius is a one-stop banking and financial duties platform for cryptocurrency users. It was launched in June 2018, and it extends rewards for storing cryptocurrency, along with services like loans and wallet-style payments. Customers of the program receive regular payouts and interest on their holdings. Celcius's native token, Cel, offers a variety of internal functions, consisting of boosting user payouts if used as the payment currency. Celcius and some others, including Nexo and BlockFi, realized that capital assets are just locked away and not doing anything productive, and came up with the concept of a marketplace for lenders and borrowers, kind of like a bank. Depositors can turn their cryptocurrency into yield-bearing assets, and borrowers can convert a number of their gains into usable cash without incurring a liability of taxes. The Celcius Network platform also provides the chance to lever up a grip or short a foothold, so doing a lot of how they create markets more complete as they unlock capital and fulfill various needs that weren't possible before. Overall, I believe these styles of businesses are good for cryptocurrency adoption, if they don't implode eventually, that is. Unfortunately, the revenues aren't currently sustaining the business. Once I first started looking into corporate, I used to be very intrigued by the subsequent statement because I've got checked out the financials for many companies. Celcius returns up to 80% of what we earn, and that's before we deduct any expenses. That sentence belies the very fact that they're paying out 80% of revenues. Not making a revenue, only a few tech-based companies have profit margins even north of 40%. So it was instantly clear to me that their works aren't self-sustaining and that they were paying out more interest to investors than they were generating from business works. If payments aren't coming from revenues, it can only come from one other place, other investors. That's a technical qualification of a Ponzi scheme. Now let's break down some financial reports showing their income and losses. It's clear that they need to grow into a self-sustaining cryptocurrency investor business by creating income streams in various cryptocurrency arenas, but that also doesn't absolve them from the very fact that current investor returns aren't sustainable. Does one wonder why they keep reducing the rate of interest they pay over time? Well, because they need to draw in more investor money to pay the high rates, and there's a limit to how briskly the platform can attract new money, especially as crypto adoption began to slow towards the top of 2021. This is a singular business because if they didn't have crypto investors hoarding their money on the platform to grow their business, they'd issue debt junk bonds with pesky paperwork, recourse, and prerequisites. Once you place your money onto the Celcius network, it becomes their property. Ask yourself if a regulated paper money business would be allowed to Ponzi out for ages until the revenues were trapped with the returns they were paying. On a bad note, most Celcius investors are likely not aware that the returns are coming from other investors, and there may not be enough capital to travel around to meet all withdrawal requests if an outsized percentage of investors want it out at the identical time. Several states, including Texas and New Jersey, have issued cease and desist notices to Celcius and similar businesses from operating in their territories. On one hand, you'll interpret the optics as a classic tech startup that burns through billions of dollars to grow. But on the opposite hand, since they're taking investor money and paying out quite, they're earning it's a Ponzi scheme for the nonce. Take your pick of how you're feeling about it. You might wonder why an outsized investment manager and other venture capitalists would invest in Celcius if they're currently paying resolute investors over their earnings. It's because Celcius is being treated as sort of a startup that loses money for a variety of years until it at some point becomes profitable. They're also likely betting it's the following lending club's type platform with greater fools able to take the IPO off their hands. However, there are a lot of ironies here because Celcius in 2019 published a now-deleted blog post criticizing a competitor for using VC funds to subsidize investor returns after they do identical works. The financials come from the United Kingdom, where they also operate. The bad luck is that there's a large lag from the amount after they publish a reported period, so we only have information up until December 2020, which leaves out a number of their recent developments, just like the cryptocurrency mining farm they recently purchased. The financial reports aren't as detailed because of the reports you'll find within the US. Furthermore, they're scanned with horrible formatting, making them hard to read. However, we will gain some insights from viewing them. At the tip of 2020, they'd have two primary revenue streams. The first one was the lending of securities to exchanges, which is essentially supplying liquidity to exchanges. And secondly, institutional lending, which could accommodate institutions getting leveraged or short exposure. Retail lending may be a pittance of their income, therefore the Democratic borrow sort of a billionaire. Pizza HODL argument doesn't appear to carry much water on their platform. They made a large $51 million in profit. While Celcius may imply they act as sort of a bank, they engage in an exceedingly lot of other investment businesses within the cryptocurrency space that traditional asset managers can't currently become involved in thanks to regulations. This lends credence to a little bit of portfolio diversification, but the cryptocurrency world remains just like the Western United States with its own unique risks. You'll be able to engage with many of the identical cryptocurrency strategies that Celcius is engaging in on your own, but without the centralized risk of your assets. While Celcius does generate revenues from investing in an exceedingly style of cryptocurrency avenues, they have some new ventures coming down the road. The most recent financial information shows they're operating at a loss and customer returns are being paid from new investors. And yes, that is the definition of a Ponzi scheme. They may grow out of the deficiency in the future from their real investments, but they may also fail at some point because too many folks want their reimbursement and they can't meet redemptions. You really should wonder if the 4 to 8% return on your asset is definitely worth the risk you're taking by placing it on the platform. Once you can put it into a DeFi platform yourself without a middleman, and once you deposit your cryptocurrency onto the Celcius platform, it becomes their property, subject to hacks or mismanagement. We take a look at it like this. What number of years do I've got to put my asset onto the platform to double my money, and what's the danger that the investment might move to zero over that point frame? In return of 4% compound interest and an 8% APY, which takes 9 years to double. That's a protracted time to position your asset on a platform where you aren't as insured from loss. We would say the risk-reward doesn't balance, and furthermore, you're centralizing your decentralized assets, which could be a contradiction of the purpose of trustless assets in the first place. All told, reality, you must store your cryptocurrency assets on a hardware larger for optimum security, and research some DeFi lending platforms if you wish to feature some extra risk and return. We can only assume that BlockFi and Nexo operate the identical way, but with no publicly disclosed financial documents to travel on the least bit. It's just a guess. A reader did share that Nexo has real-time independent accountant reports showing that they exceed 100% of customer liabilities, which is unquestionably a good piece of knowledge and something that the other CeFi platforms haven't revealed. So in the end, we would suggest that if you're comfortable with these varieties of investments, you simply split your investment capital across all three platforms to scale back the danger of an implosion by one in every one of them. At a minimum, you'll be able to diversify your risk profile a bit, but again, they're probably all doing the identical things behind the scenes anyways. So that's it for today's video, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button, share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll see even more of our incredible videos. Hey, we'll catch up with you in the next video. Thanks for watching and happy investing.